Hey everybody, Reefgrrl here, and welcome to my channel. If you haven't already, I would love it if you'd subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're kept right up to date with all the stuff that I have coming your way in the next couple of months. In this video, I'm going to show you the steps that I've taken over the last 6 months that I believe have made a huge difference in what's been going on in here. If you've been following my channel, you'll know that I've had some pretty devastating crashes in the last, year and a half or so. I learned a lot from those crashes, and at this point, the tank is almost 2.5 years old, and it's finally starting to mature beautifully. But it seems like in the last 6 months, it's turned some sort of a corner. In thinking about that, I realized there were things that I've done that probably contributed to that. So let's get started. My name is Reefgrrl. I have multiple product syndrome. So here's something that happens to reef keepers all over the world all the time. You're watching a video of a gorgeous tank. The person shows a product and you think to yourself, I'm gonna get me some of that and maybe my tank will look that good. So you get the stuff, you start using it, and a couple weeks later you see another video of another gorgeous tank and the process gets repeated all over again. Pretty soon you end up with this. A year ago, I pared way back on all the stuff I was using to make things a little easier for a tank sitter while I was on vacation, but guess what? It did not take long for it to creep back again. Around 6 months ago, I cut back on the coral foods I was using from 11 to just 4, these 3 and Reef. Out of this, I got better nutrient control and it was simpler. Around 7 months ago, I started using Coral Essentials, Trace Elements A, B, and C, and Coral Power Amino, and Coral Power Grow. This was to replace 8 or 9 different types of amino acids and trace additives I was using from several different manufacturers. This is a much simpler system. A couple of drops a day from each bottle and you're good. Now, wait a minute. You're not going to run out and buy this stuff, are you? Are you? At least not without doing a whole ton of research to make sure this is what you want to do, because it would defeat the point of the whole overcoming multiple product syndrome. I also got serious about testing all 5 of these parameters at least once a week. I learned a lot about testing during my tank crashes, and that skill came in handy. Looking at my results, you can see many more of them are in the green zone. I still have a few things to work on because a few of them are still kind of all over the place. But now I can make my decisions based on knowing the numbers because I'm testing. I am loving my new light setup. I had a Kessel AP700 and I added a pair of Orfec OR120s. The 120 refers to the length, essentially 48 inches. I believe these new lights have contributed to the growth in my tank. My corals respond to them. For both lights, I chose Blue Plus because corals need a blue spectrum for growth. And oh boy, I have had an explosion of growth in the last 6 months. Basically, I supplemented my LED with more LEDs. My struggle with high phosphates ended when I learned about Tropic Marin's Elimifos Rapid. And once the phosphate levels were down to where I felt they were acceptable, I was able to use the granules on the right to maintain those low levels. Not only that, I did the math. I figured out how much of the Elimifos Rapid I would need to dose to control my phosphates at my target level, which is somewhere between 0.04 and 0.07. All I need to do is dose the required amount that I figure out after I do my phosphate test, and they're dropped right back into the target range. Then they're kept there for the most part by the granules on the right. I did an entire video about this. I will put a link in the description. I won't go into details here, except to say these two products working together have created a phosphate control program that I can follow. I believe this has done wonders for my tank. As reef keepers, we know that our tanks benefit from stable pH in a specific range. Here are the steps I took to get my pH to a range that was consistently above 8, sometimes 8.1. In my tank, it could also benefit from being just a tiny bit higher. I do have something up my sleeve for that, if it works, but you'll have to wait for the video. One or two of these things I've been doing for longer than 6 months. But every little thing that I add as time goes by has a definite positive impact. Where I've made videos on some of these projects, I'll put links in the description below so you can check it out if you're interested. So there you have it. I hope maybe this gave you a few ideas. I'm by no means telling people to go out and do all this stuff. I'm just pointing out that all of these things together, I believe, have resulted in success. I can't choose any one over any other one because, of course, I did them all during the same time period. And there's a lesson there as well when it comes to reef keeping. But I'm really happy with how things are right now. And I say that with the utmost humility and gratitude, because I do not want another visit from karma or hubris stomping all over my excessive pride. I still wait every day to wake up, walk in, and see a problem. And every day that doesn't happen, I'm thankful. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it. And please let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. Be sure to check out the various videos that I've done on these projects and just see if there's anything that you might want to try. If so, I would love to hear about it.